A public inquiry into the 2017 Grenfell Tower blaze in London found the deadly blaze was caused by a culmination of decades of failure by both the government and the construction industry. 72 people were killed, making the fire the deadliest blaze on British soil since World War II. The report says the federal government had many opportunities to identify the risks of using combustible cladding and insulation, yet failed to do so. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer apologized to the families of the victims on behalf of the British state. As of now, no criminal charges have been laid.
The simple truth is that the deaths that occurred were all avoidable, and those who lived in the tower were badly failed over a number of years and in a number of different ways by those who were responsible for ensuring the safety of the building and its occupants.
Today's report speaks to the lack of competence, understanding and fundamental failure to perform the most basic duties of care. We paid the price of systematic dishonesty, institutional indifference and neglect. The government ignored warnings about dangerous cladding from as early as 1991. It knew the risk but failed to prevent them, revealing the greed and profiteering of an industry that has been poorly regulated by governments over decades. Today, we send a message to Keir Starmer and his government. This country has been failed by governments of all political persuasions. Our expectation is your government will break old habits and implement all the recommendations made by Sir Martin Moore-Bick's report without further delay, because the time to address this is already 3 decades too late.
On behalf of the British state, to each and every one of you, and indeed to all of the families affected by this tragedy, it should never have happened. The country failed to discharge its most fundamental duty, to protect you and your loved ones. Mr. Speaker, today is a long-awaited day of truth, but it must now lead to a day of justice. Justice for the victims and the families of Grenfell, but also a moment to reflect on the state of social justice in our country, and a chance for this government of service to turn the page. Because this tragedy poses fundamental questions about the kind of country we are. So I can tell the House today that this government will write to all companies found by the inquiry to be part of these horrific failings as the first step to stopping them being awarded government contracts. And we will, of course, support the Metropolitan Police and the prosecutors as they complete their investigation.
Look, one of the things that I welcome today is that the new Prime Minister is saying today is going to be a turning point. His apology is really important, but also saying that how we respond to Grenfell Tower is a litmus test on whether we as a country are a civilised country. Look who lost their lives. The most vulnerable in our society: children, those who are disabled, black, Asian, minority ethnics, those from minority religions. And I think the fact that they were treated appallingly before, during and after the fire is a source of shame to any one of us who believes that we live in a civilised society.
This inquiry was forced on us. We had no say. We were not consulted. And like I say, to some it gives answers, and to some it doesn't do anything except it's put that extra nail in the coffin, as they say, or in the hearts.
And everyone is just passing the blame to each other. Is that fair? That 72 lives died, you know. From that night, I've not been the same person. Mentally, I'm messed up. I suffer from PTSD. And obviously, for stuff that happened in the past, it led to me losing my job. Right now, currently, I'm unemployed. But what we are demanding justice for these lives.